Hello, I'm here for your daily card read. I am now on, I think, day 4 of pulling a card from a different deck that I own. And today's deck is the Journey deck. And this deck is currently out of print. It was created by Christopher Beaver, who is a longtime friend and an amazing teacher. He now is a jewelry designer, and he's doing a line for Jewel, the musician. And so you can see some of his jewelry on Songlines by Jewel, which is pretty cool. He's also a homeopath, so he's helping people in the world with that healing modality. And I find that the deck that Christopher created was very powerful. It's in the early days of decks, they weren't all boxed up into a tiny little box with a tiny little book, and this one has a full-size book, and it has some really deep information in it. So I'm going to go ahead and read you the card that I pulled for our session today, which is integration. We're in a time where we have the opportunity to integrate, and the way I see this, before I read what the book has to say about it, is we are being asked right now to integrate our parts, right? Our heart, what we feel, awaken our heart, integrate our mind, which we think, what we have been sort of programmed with society to make the ruler of our experience, our body, how we feel, how our body works for us, whether it's cooperating or not, if we're healthy or not, and our spirit, what our soul is here to do in this lifetime. So we have this great opportunity for integration, and I'm going to go ahead and read what the book about integration says about integration for our card today. It's on page 59. The card. So funny, we pulled the card 59 yesterday. Drawing this card signifies that it is time to call upon the energy of integration to move your life forward into a greater balance. Integration unites opposites together, bringing them into balance and oneness. Do we need that now more than ever? I mean, I feel like one of the things that's been up in our world is people finding reasons to disagree, people polarizing, taking different sides. And I mean, that image even is sort of looks like, okay, what happens when we're polarized, two separates? Can we bring our energy together, right? Uniting opposites, bringing them in balance and into oneness. To comprehend integration as an energy, you must understand that we are both positive and negative, masculine and feminine, enthusiastic and remorseful, all in one moment of time. Wow, take that in. We are both positive and negative, masculine and feminine, enthusiastic and remorseful, all in one moment. So there's no judgment here. Last night I just got into the giggles in the kitchen for no reason. I couldn't even explain why. And I think it's because I was just needing to move some energy, right? How audacious it is, how silly what we're living through is. And I've moved energy through tears as well. And we can hold space for that complexity in our natures with integration. To know great joy is to have known great pain. Each side within the dualism teaches us how to appreciate the other side and how to bring both qualities into balance so neither one has total dominion, while the other is denied its place as our teacher. So this is also asking how can we let the shadow side be our teacher and not just reject it or try to get away from it or avoid it or run from it? We're facing our shadow as a collective and the consequences of the choices we've made individually and collectively. And this is really asking for us to realize that it's teaching us. It's got something to teach us. It's not for no purpose. To respect and honor all aspects of the self and to begin to integrate even the parts of the self that seem negative is to begin to come closer to the center and back into balance. The unification of the self establishes an opening, allowing resistance that may have been blocking progress to begin to come together and restore harmony that may have been lost along the way. To integrate is to begin a journey of discovering what aspects of the self are being overemphasized. Hallelujah to that, right? What aspects of ourselves are being overemphasized? I decided to sit in front of my Ganesha today, who's the remover of obstacles. And because I love this statue, and it reminds me constantly that there is in devotion, that removing obstacles doesn't have to be an act of violence or aggression, but it actually can be an act of sacred holding of space. So as you think about that, today's reading, how does it work with your life? Where do you need to integrate? Where do you need to notice what has been overemphasized? Are you being too nice? Are you being too cooperative? Are you being too self-focused? What are you being too angry, suppressing your anger? Are you being too needy? Are you being too passive? Are you trying to please too much? What is being emphasized right now, and how can you bring yourself back into the balance and not reject those things or judge those things, but realize they just are an indication that something is out of balance and you're calling yourself back into balance. Thank you for sitting with me each of these days as we join forces in listening to the universe and learn about these new decks or old decks.